For decades, menopause was often described as the end of something, a stage associated with hot flashes, night sweats, and the end of reproductive years. But a growing number of doctors and researchers are encouraging a different perspective. What if menopause isn't just an ending? What if it's one of the most important opportunities you'll ever have to invest in your future health? The years surrounding menopause bring significant hormonal changes, but they also reveal important clues about bone health, heart disease, muscle strength, brain function, and metabolism. Rather than viewing menopause as a problem to survive, many experts now see it as a critical window for prevention, a time when healthy choices can influence well-being for decades to come. Today, we'll explore why menopause affects so many systems throughout the body, what changes are considered normal, which health risks become more important after menopause, and the practical steps, supported by current evidence, that can help promote healthier aging. To understand why menopause has such wide-ranging effects, we first need to understand estrogen. Most people associate estrogen with fertility and menstrual cycles, but this hormone influences far more than reproduction. Estrogen receptors are found throughout the body, including the brain, bones, heart, blood vessels, muscles, skin, and urinary tract. Throughout adulthood, estrogen helps support many of these tissues, although it works alongside numerous other hormones and biological systems. As women approach menopause, estrogen production becomes less predictable. During perimenopause, hormone levels may fluctuate considerably, leading to irregular menstrual cycles and symptoms such as hot flashes, sleep disturbances, mood changes, or heavier periods. Eventually, the ovaries produce much lower levels of estrogen, and menopause is officially reached after 12 consecutive months without a menstrual period. While menopause is a natural stage of life, the hormonal changes that accompany it can affect long-term health in several important ways. One of the earliest concerns is bone health. Bones may seem solid and unchanging, but they're constantly being remodeled. Specialized cells break down old bone, while others build new bone. Estrogen helps keep this process balanced. After menopause, bone breakdown often begins to outpace bone formation. As a result, bone density can decline more rapidly during the first several years after menopause. Over time, this increases the risk of osteoporosis, a condition in which bones become weaker and more likely to fracture. What's surprising is that osteoporosis often develops silently. Many people don't realize they have significant bone loss until they experience a fracture after what seemed like a minor fall. This is why prevention matters. Weight-bearing exercise, resistance training, adequate calcium intake, sufficient vitamin D, avoiding smoking, and limiting excessive alcohol all contribute to stronger bones throughout life. For women at increased risk, healthcare professionals may also recommend bone density screening to identify osteoporosis before fractures occur. Heart health is another area where menopause becomes especially important. Before menopause, women generally develop cardiovascular disease later than men, although many factors contribute to this difference. As estrogen levels decline, changes in cholesterol levels, blood vessel function, and body fat distribution may gradually increase cardiovascular risk. It's important to remember that menopause itself doesn't cause heart disease. Instead, it often coincides with age-related changes and shifts in metabolism that make prevention even more valuable. High blood pressure, elevated cholesterol, diabetes, smoking, physical inactivity, poor sleep, and family history continue to play major roles in cardiovascular health. The encouraging news is that many of these risk factors are modifiable. Regular physical activity, balanced nutrition, maintaining a healthy body weight, controlling blood pressure, and managing cholesterol remain some of the most effective ways to reduce long-term cardiovascular risk. Another change many women notice involves muscle. Beginning in midlife, adults naturally lose muscle mass and strength over time, a process known as sarcopenia. Hormonal changes during menopause may contribute to this decline, particularly when combined with inactivity. Why does this matter? Muscle isn't just important for lifting heavy objects. It helps maintain balance, supports joints, improves mobility, stores glucose, and contributes to healthy metabolism. Strong muscles reduce the risk of falls and help preserve independence later in life. Fortunately, muscle responds remarkably well to resistance training, even for people who begin exercising in their 50s, 60s, or beyond. Studies consistently show that strength training improves muscle mass, bone health, balance, and physical function across a wide range of ages. Protein also becomes increasingly important. Adequate dietary protein supports muscle maintenance and recovery, especially when combined with resistance exercise. While individual needs vary, many experts encourage older adults to pay closer attention to protein intake than they may have earlier in life. Metabolism is another topic surrounded by myths. Many people believe menopause suddenly destroys metabolism overnight. The reality is more complex. Research suggests that much of the gradual slowing in metabolism occurs because of aging, reductions in muscle mass, and changes in physical activity, rather than menopause alone. However, hormonal changes can influence where fat is stored. Many women notice that fat shifts away from the hips and thighs toward the abdomen after menopause. This pattern, sometimes called central fat distribution, is associated with higher risks of insulin resistance and cardiovascular disease. Although these changes can feel frustrating, they're not inevitable or irreversible. Regular exercise, particularly strength training combined with aerobic activity, supports body composition, insulin sensitivity, and overall metabolic health. Sleep also deserves attention. Night sweats and hot flashes can significantly disrupt sleep quality during menopause. Poor sleep affects more than energy levels. It influences appetite hormones, blood sugar regulation, mood, memory, and cardiovascular health. Improving sleep hygiene, maintaining consistent sleep schedules, keeping the bedroom cool, limiting caffeine late in the day, and discussing persistent symptoms with a healthcare professional can have benefits that extend well beyond feeling rested. Many women also worry about memory during menopause. It's common to experience occasional forgetfulness, difficulty concentrating, or what's often described as brain fog. Researchers believe hormonal fluctuations, sleep disruption, stress, and aging may all contribute. For most women, these symptoms improve over time, although persistent or severe cognitive changes should always be evaluated by a healthcare professional because they may have other causes. The brain, much like the rest of the body, benefits from healthy lifestyle habits. Regular exercise, lifelong learning, social engagement, adequate sleep, and managing cardiovascular risk factors all support cognitive health as we age. Perhaps one of the biggest mindset shifts surrounding menopause is recognizing that prevention works best before problems become obvious. Waiting until osteoporosis develops, blood pressure rises, or muscle strength declines means you're responding to problems after they've already begun. Menopause offers a valuable opportunity to build habits that protect long-term health before those changes become more significant. One question that often comes up is hormone therapy. Menopausal hormone therapy, sometimes called MHT or hormone replacement therapy, can be highly effective for relieving symptoms such as hot flashes, night sweats, and vaginal dryness. For some women, it also helps protect bone health. However, it's not appropriate for everyone. The decision depends on factors such as age, medical history, the severity of symptoms, and individual risk factors. Current medical guidelines recommend discussing the potential benefits and risks with a qualified healthcare professional, rather than relying on generalized advice online. Nutrition also plays an important role during and after menopause. Instead of focusing on restrictive diets, many experts recommend a balanced eating pattern, rich in vegetables, fruits, whole grains, legumes, lean protein, healthy fats, and calcium-rich foods. This approach supports heart health, bone strength, blood sugar regulation, and overall well-being. Staying hydrated and limiting highly processed foods, added sugars, and excessive alcohol can also contribute to better long-term health. Mental health deserves just as much attention as physical health. Hormonal changes, sleep disruption, major life transitions, and everyday stress can all affect emotional well-being during midlife. Feeling overwhelmed from time to time is common, but persistent anxiety, depression, or significant changes in mood should never be ignored. Reaching out to a healthcare professional, counselor, or trusted support network can make a meaningful difference. Another often overlooked aspect of healthy aging is staying socially connected. Research has consistently shown that maintaining friendships, participating in community activities, and staying engaged with family can support both mental and physical health. Longevity isn't determined by biology alone. Our daily habits and relationships matter too. Menopause isn't simply about declining hormones. It's about entering a new phase of life with different priorities and different opportunities. By focusing on strong bones, healthy muscles, a healthy heart, quality sleep, balanced nutrition, and regular movement, you're investing in how you'll feel not just next month, but 10, 20, or even 30 years from now. Rather than seeing menopause as the end of vitality, modern medicine increasingly views it as an opportunity for preventative care and healthier aging. The choices made during this transition can influence independence, mobility, and quality of life for decades. The goal isn't to stop aging. That isn't possible. The goal is to age as well as possible. And menopause, far from being only a challenge, may become one of the most important turning points for building a healthier future.